Arthur Ashe, American tennis professional, winner of 3 Grand Slam titles, the Wimbledon Open, the US Open, and the Australian Open. He was a civil rights activist. He founded the Arthur Ashe Institute for Urban Health and was involved in numerous charitable projects. In 1993, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Clinton. No wonder the city of Richmond, his hometown, has a statue, a street, and an athletic center with his name on it. I'm sure you recognize former President and First Lady Barack and Michelle Obama. Here they are with our Senator Tim Kaine and his wife Ann Holton. Now, Ann Holton is an American lawyer and judge. She has served as Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth of Virginia and is a former president of George Mason University. She was also the First Lady of Virginia from 2006 to 2010. This is me. What's up, RPS? This is Mr. Lyles, and you're probably wondering, what do I have in common with Arthur Ashe and Ann Holton? Well, for one thing, as kids, all of us attended Richmond Public Schools. More specifically, we were involved in our school's instrumental music program. I'm here to tell you today about the string orchestra program at your school and share with you an exciting opportunity available to you very soon. Now, I teach at Bellevue, Henry Marsh, Fairfield Court, and George Washington Carver Elementaries. Normally, we start the beginning orchestra classes in the 4th grade, but things being what they are this year, we're going to be exclusively 5th grade, at least for the first semester. So you're in the right place at the right time. Let me tell you a little bit something about me. I moved to Richmond at the beginning of my 6th grade year. I attended Binford Middle School, where my parents convinced me to sign up for orchestra class. I was nervous. I didn't know one end of the violin from the other. I didn't know how to read music, nothing. But the teacher was Mr. Williams, and he was incredible. He spent a lot of time with me, and he got me going very quickly that first year. It wasn't always that great. I first sounded something like this. Pretty soon I was a little bit better. And by the time I was into my middle school years, I was sounding pretty good. Now, by the time I graduated from high school, I thought that this was something I might be able to do and enjoy and make a living at. And since then, I've had a very successful career as a symphony orchestra member. I've played in jazz combos. I've had some bit parts in some TV movies, and lots of weddings and other events in between. But my first love has always been teaching, and that's one reason I'm here today. So, we're going to have a little fun now. I have some friends that have helped me out with this project. They're going to perform on their string instrument for you, and then we're going to put all those little video clips together and see what they sound like. This is Ms. Davis. She is an orchestra teacher in Hanover County Schools. Like me, she also plays the violin. This is Ms. Johnson. She is a former orchestra teacher in Chesterfield County. Now, she is retired, but she keeps busy nowadays playing in orchestras all around the state. Now, she's playing the viola. Viola is just a little bit bigger than a violin and has a little bit deeper sound. Let's listen. This is Mr. Kirksey. He also grew up in Richmond and attended RPS. He started out in the band program, however, on the saxophone, And somewhere in high school, one day his teacher asked him to try out the cello because he needed a cello player for the concert. And he's been playing cello ever since. He has played in symphony orchestras in both New York City and Europe, and he's played in the pit orchestras for Broadway shows. But he came back to Richmond a number of years ago, and he keeps busy playing cello, and he's mainly the conductor of the Petersburg Symphony Orchestra. So let's put all these parts together and see what they sound like now. It was pretty interesting, wasn't it? Now this is called a string quartet. Just like the word quarter, it takes four to make one whole. A symphony orchestra, of course, has many more string players to get that full sound. Sometimes you'll see these instruments in a different genre or different type of music. For example, in country music, a violin is referred to oftentimes as a fiddle. Okay? And if you're not careful, you might hear the violin in a totally different style. So, let's take a minute and talk about what is needed to be in your school orchestra classes. Now, because of the challenges of online learning this year, we will all be playing violin to make things easier. If you choose to continue orchestra in middle school, it will be very easy for you to switch to the viola or the cello or the double bass, because you will have had that foundation of the first year of note reading and working the fingers and how to move the bow and things like that. You'll be having instruction in three different ways. First of all, you'll be having a class, a group class online during your encore music time, once a week. Two, you will have access to instruction videos and some computer software called Smart Music, which allows you to play along with music and see the notes across the screen. Very fun stuff to do. Three, you'll be getting with me one-on-one, and we'll be having a private tutorial session once or twice a month, depending on the schedule. This will take care of any challenges you might be experiencing, as well as give you an opportunity to work on some music that you want to do on your own. I don't want you ever to be afraid to try new things and work at your own pace. Now, the expectations are, first of all, you'll be expected to attend all of your group lessons as well as your private lesson. Okay? You will be expected to practice regularly and be prepared to play when we all come together. It is not hard to learn how to play the violin, but effort is required on your part. I guarantee, though, if you put forth the effort and stick with it, you will sound good in a very short period of time. And same for learning how to read music. Got to put a little effort into it and practice at it diligently. Once you join this class, you're going to be expected to stay in the class for the remainder of the school year. That is important. You cannot come in and try this class for 2 weeks and say, I don't think this is right for me, and quit. I'm going to quit. Nobody's going to learn how to do this in 2 weeks. I don't care how talented you are. Secondly, every player is important to us. We need you in this orchestra program to make it successful. The more players we have, the better we sound. And if someone messes up at the concert, there's plenty of people around that'll cover up that one little mistake you might have made. You will receive a grade for this class, just like your other encore classes. And when you get to middle school, you can continue orchestra as an elective, and you'll get academic credit for that, A, B, C, D, or so on. Okay. By the way, colleges love to see participation in orchestras and bands on their student applications. Now, like Arthur Ashe and Ann Holton and many other people who've taken band and orchestra before, most people are not going to make a career out of music. That's okay, though. Okay, you'll be learning some skills that will carry you through life and keep you successful, just as those people have been. Okay, for example, time management, perseverance. Got to keep up practicing. How to express yourself. Mathematics, how to count rhythms, things like that. Foreign language, and so much more are intertwined into learning how to play a string instrument. This is why it's so important to have music in our schools and why we offer it here in RPS. So now the big question. I don't have an instrument. What do I do? Well, you can rent an instrument from a music store rather inexpensively. We don't want you to go out and tell mom and dad you need $100, $300, $400 for an instrument, because they're not going to do it right away. And you may decide you might not like it and put the instrument in the closet. Okay? But renting is a very low-risk way of trying out an instrument. If it doesn't work out for you, you just take the instrument back to the music store, okay, and you're not stuck with it. Okay. Many stores offer a rental purchase program, so if you keep renting that instrument for a period of time, eventually that instrument will become yours to keep. Just like when you go to buy a car, you pay for the car or house or whatever, and after a while it's paid off, it's yours to keep. Now, the good news is, if that is not an option in your house, and I get that, but I do have a very limited number of violins in your school that I can loan you. Okay, I will loan them out to people who have a proven record of academic responsibility and regular attendance to their classes. Just like laptops, library books, anything you borrow from a school, your parents will have to sign them out, do some paperwork, and you'll be responsible for taking care of that instrument during the time you have it at home. And you would need to return it to us at the end of the school year in June. So now that I have your attention, hopefully, and this is something that you want to look into, let me know. I'm going to put my code here on the screen. Write it down if you would, please. Come in and drop in on my class, and if you look under the class assignments, there's a very simple form I'd like you to fill out. Tell me who you are, what class you're in, and a little bit about yourself. And then I'll get back with you and we'll set up a time for meeting with all our new students. Okay. If you have questions that are specific to your situation, you can email me directly at llyles@rvaschools.net, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. On behalf of the fine arts teachers in Richmond Public Schools, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm really excited about having many of you in my program in the very near future. Until then, have a fantastic day of living and learning. Bye now.